What's up YouTube, this is GalacticGod and I'm coming at you today with a video to talk about Soul Charge and the Sixth Sense. Now, how much do these cards have in common? How much do they differ? And could Soul Charge be considered the next Sixth Sense? Now, what do I mean by this? Well, when Sixth Sense was legal here in the TCG, a lot of players would complain that it was an instant top deck out. Meaning, essentially, if you were able to draw this card and get its effect off in the duel, you should be able to come up with all the answers that you require to get out of just about any kind of given situation and come up victorious. For me personally, I ran across this situation one time when I was at the LA Regional when Sixth Sense was legal, and I was somewhere around, I don't know, around 5 or 6 maybe, and I was playing Constellars, and my opponent was also playing Constellars, and we were going into round 3. We had each won one of the previous rounds, and we had each done our kind of little setup on the board, and I drew into Sixth Sense and I set it, and it went over to his turn, and I guess he drew into an MST or something, and he MST'd the card I had just set, which was Sixth Sense, and I activated it. And I, called 5 and 6, and it rolled out onto a 6, and I got 6 new cards into my hand. And the expression on my opponent's face was just like this dire resentment, like he couldn't even believe it. I never felt so bad about like sacking someone out so bad, because six new cards into your hand is like a huge advantage for any given situation, and it definitely was able to give me any kind of card. I got a bunch of traps and spells and monsters I could to just counter every play that he possibly could have made, and I had the solution to whatever problem he was going to throw at me, and I just out-resourced him and was able to definitely pull through at that point. A lot of people have been arguing that Soul Charge is kind of the same thing in comparison in this meta. If you're able to get into your Soul Charge, you can almost come back from any kind of situation, especially if you have a loaded graveyard full of cards. If your opponent doesn't have an answer for you summoning out 4 or 5 monsters, you're able to get 5 new resources off of just that one card, and you should be able to exceed into, or even synchro into, depending on what you're actually playing, into whatever answers you may need to get over your opponent's board. Both cards have drawbacks, but both cards have great possibilities within them to allow you to make some massive resurgence in the duel, especially if you're kind of behind on resources. And although I don't think people would question the fact that Sixth Sense is a more powerful card in nature, I do think a lot of people would agree that they do relatively the same thing, which is they can supply you with a huge amount of new or reoccurring resources in Soul Charge's instance, and allow you to gain such a momentum that it would be really hard for your opponent to combat. So in the comment section below, remember to let me know what you think. Do you believe Soul Charge to be this meta's version of a Sixth Sense because it allows one to get so many more new resources in one pop? Or do you think both the cards have nothing in common and are completely opposite of each other? And I guess that's it for now. This is GalacticGod, out.